Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got another review on the What If YURI Berchicche. We're going to be going through the card, his detail, stats, clips and summary. Before we get into all of that, if I could ask you guys to please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when I upload, and comment down below what your thoughts are on this card. Guys, I've noticed you asking for that What If Caputo. I will be trying to finish that tonight. Please do bear with me. And without further ado, let's get into the review. So guys, this is the team that I use YURI Berchicche in. I played him at the left back slot, of course, in this 4-2-3-1. I also did try him at centre back a couple of times. You guys will see some of those clips in there. But overall, guys, I think this guy, in first impressions of him, just getting into this now, I think this guy's a very good fullback, very athletic, very dynamic, very strong, big as well. Perfectly capable of playing that centre back option as well as that left back option as well. It was nice to have that comparison as well to Kukureya at left back to be able to see how he performs in general. But without further ado, let's get into the review. YURI Berchicche, 5'11", high, medium, left-footed, 3-star slow moves and 3-star weak foot. Now again, guys, not too bad there. The high medium work rates are a bit, you just need to make sure you control them with instructions if you do play him at centre back. I did like the fact that he got forward. I like my fullbacks getting in down the wing as well. 3-star weak foot, not so much of an issue as previously mentioned with fullbacks, although I do like a good weak foot. It's not necessarily that bad as long as he is left footed on that left back slot. That's what I prefer. I think that's much easier to play, especially those balls down the line, the sweeping ones down the line. Much easier to play if you've got a left footed player in there. In terms of games played, I played 4 games with him, no goals and no assists. Of course, this is a defensive review, but he is very capable of attacking, just unlucky not to get any assists as well from me either. Getting into the details, guys, I put a shadow on him. I wanted that pace to be hard to be able to deal with all these wingers and to improve his defending because that is a little low right now. Want that to be a bit better so he is an elite defender and you can hold it down with him without having to worry about him not winning tackles or being able to hold his own in the defense. In terms of the attribute details, guys, now the key attributes to watch out for here, his physical attributes are phenomenal. 89 jumping, 90 stamina, 84 strength and 89 aggression, all brilliant stats to have there. His acceleration and sprint speed is pretty decent, and put that with the chemistry style on him as well, it just makes it absolutely phenomenal. He's very quick up and down that wing and very good just in general terms of dribbling as well. He's able to move relatively cleanly and quickly in between lines and in spaces to allow you to be very adaptable in your defense. Very fast player in terms of that as well. His passing is pretty decent too, and his crossing is pretty good as well, so that's all nice to have, especially in a fullback particularly. Getting into, the cons as well of this card. Overall, guys, I actually think this card is pretty good. I mean, if I was to pick on something, I would say that his heading accuracy is a bit annoying, but you can fix that with his shadow, of course, so it's not too much of an issue. Other than that, guys, I think this is just a very, very good fullback or centre-back card. If you are going to play him centre-back, I would say that you do need to boost his defending, as the tackling is not good enough, in my opinion, on this card on the base stats. With that shadow, though, you guys can see 94 stand tackle and 96 slide tackle, so really a lot better there as well. Defensive awareness also needs to be pushed up if you're going to play him at centre-back too. Getting into the player traits, guys, you've got solid player, speed dribbler and dives into tackles. Now the only thing I don't like there is dives into tackles. I hate that trait. Often costs me a foul here and there where it's unnecessary, but I didn't notice this too much in terms of affecting him. I was able to control him for the most part and stop him from diving into too many challenges like that, so overall not too much of an issue for me. Now that we've covered all that, we're going to get into some of the clips that I got with him. So guys, getting into some of YURI Berchiche's moments, and what you guys are going to see here is his overall athleticism as a left back and his ability to drive forward from that left back slot. Now guys, he is pretty good defensively. I mean, his defensive stats aren't the highest right now, but I would say that with that upgrade that he's likely to get, given that 1 clean sheet is very achievable for all teams that are defenders or players who are defenders in this promo, I think it's very achievable for all the teams they're in. So I don't see how this card won't become really, really good after the upgrade. I mean, he's already very decent. Now the first thing I want to talk about, guys, and probably the most important thing about this card, is his general athleticism. I think this YURI Berchicche is probably one of the more athletic left backs you can get now. Would I put him up there with Kukureya's athleticism? No, I would say Kukureya is a more dynamic card, but overall I think he's slightly bigger, which gives a little more power to this card, but a little less agile than the Kukureya card. So maybe it's a different type of athleticism, but overall I do think that this card is very strong, very quick, very powerful, and able to deal with defenders quite well as well. Now in terms of recovery pace as well, guys, he's quick enough, although I would recommend slapping something on him just to be able to help him contend with those wingers that he will be dealing with. Overall, guys, this card is very quick, but given the stage of FIFA that we're at and what chemistry styles people are able to apply to their wingers, it makes it a little more difficult to play against those types of squads without having a pacey fullback to deal with them. Now, guys, getting into some of the cons. Unlike a lot of smaller left backs, and of course this is a con maybe of being a bigger left back, this card doesn't have amazing agility or maneuverability for the left back slot compared to someone who is more of an elite left back. Now guys, of course this left back is only sitting around 150, 140k, so for what you're getting, you do get a very good left back. However, he is not as, say, dynamic as Cucurella is. He does lack that ability to turn on a dime and move quickly with the ball, so you do have to be a little more considered with your movement on him, but overall I still think a very good card. The last thing I want to talk about, guys, is his crossing. Although you've only seen a couple of examples of it in these clips, his crossing is very good, and because you can be so aggressive with this card, you can put in really dangerous crosses and create easy chances for your team as well. Overall, guys, I really did enjoy using this card. The way I was able to cover my center backs and I was allowed some freedom with them because he's able to cover that inside area there. Again, you can see that athleticism, and in this final clip here, guys, you're going to see another good little sequence where he gets a tackle in and wins the ball well. So guys, getting this YURI BERCHICHE final summary, 144k on the PlayStation, 134 on the Xbox, and 179 on the PC. Now guys, getting into the key stats here, I think the key ones here are his speed, his general athleticism in terms of physicality, and of course his short passing. Generally his dribbling is pretty good as well. Not stand out, but it does do the job in terms of being able to maneuver with the ball. He's very athletic, very powerful fullback, so that's very nice to have. In terms of the recommended chemistry style, guys, there's a whole bunch of ways you could play this. It depends really on where you want this card to play. For me, I put the shadow on him. That's what it does to his stats. It brings his defensive stats way up, brings his speed up as well. However, guys, if you are going to play him as a fullback, I think there's better ways to utilize it. Maybe an anchor will do a better job as well. However, his physicality doesn't really need that much. So I would recommend something that does boost that pace, because you do need it against those wingers, especially considering his acceleration and sprint speed is the wrong way around for me. So guys, I would say boost that in all your considerations. The pace is definitely a big one for me. In terms of similar players, guys, he's not as dynamic as Cucurella is at the left back. However, he's still very athletic. I don't think that he's far off of a Hernandez type of card. I think he's much more, I think he's slightly more fluid than Hernandez is, but of course not as quick. Very capable fullback in general, very physically capable as well. Not this Hernandez specifically, maybe the headliner or the second inform Hernandez, very similar to that kind of card. In terms of linkability, guys, of course, being a Spanish player in La Liga gives you a lot of options. Linked to that Freeze, Under Capa, that SBC, and Aki Williams, perfect links as well in there. Strong links, of course, to loads of Spanish players, one of which is also Cucurella, as we've previously mentioned. Iago Aspas, David Silva's record breaker card, Isco, Jordi Alba, if you were to play him as a centre back and play him next to Jordi Alba. Jesus Navas is there as well. There's a whole bunch of players you can link this card to, guys, so really nice options in there as well. Finally, guys, getting into the price. If we look first at the La Liga fullbacks, you can see here he is behind Marcos Acuna and ahead of Jordi Alba here right at the top. I do think that this Marcos Acuna is a level above this YURI BERCHICHE at the current time. However, guys, if this Berchiche does get an upgrade, we could be looking at a card which is comparable to Marcos Acuna in terms of ability. I think Marcos Acuna is a fantastic card, but this Berchiche is just slightly short of him. So I do think in terms of La Liga, he's at the right price point, because if we look down, compared to Alba, Jose Luis Gaya, and Lucas Torreira, I think he is above them. Perez Estupiñán there, of course, as well. I think he's above all of those guys, but not quite at Acuna's level yet. If we get into the fullbacks across the entire FIFA database, you can see down here he is next to Livan Kurzawa. Again, Marcos Acuna is in there, and then Kieran Tierney. I think again he's very well priced. I do think he's better than Livan Kurzawa, even though Kurzawa's got a bit of a size advantage over him. I do think that he is better than Kurzawa. Again, I put him kind of at the same sort of playstyle as Theo Hernandez, but I don't think he's as good as Acuna. I think Acuna is a fantastic fullback, but if we look at this Hernandez here, I think he's very similar to this team of the group stage Hernandez. Fantastic card in that regard. Which brings me on to my final recommendation, guys, about this card. I think this card's really great, guys. I think it's a fantastic card. Definitely worth the price tag right now. And if he gets that upgrade, which is very likely given that it's only one clean sheet out of 5 or 6 games, I can't remember which one it is, it's definitely worth picking up this card, guys. He'll be a fantastic left back for you, even if he doesn't get the upgrade. And if he does get the upgrade, he'll be a fantastic centre back, fantastic left back. He might even be the best left back, one of the best left backs that aren't icon in the game as well at this current stage. So really fantastic card. 100% would recommend picking this card up, even for the current price tag. I think it's a fair price compared to what he could become even as an 89 rated card. Hope you guys did enjoy this review. If you did, please do smash that like button. Until next time, I will see you all in a bit.